So Nicky, we caught a little bit of your preparations, a little bit of sparring there ahead of fight night on November the 19th. A massive fighting prospect challenging for the regional lightweight title against Seb Hallett. So how did the sparring go in your eyes there?
Yeah, good man, good. Every sparring is different because you always get different boys in and you can work on different stuff and that, and obviously I'm always thankful for every boy that comes down and allows me to work. And it's good to get, especially with down here, like we can get multiple boys in, so you got to adapt to styles very quickly. So it's good, and it's good preparation for a fight in case your opponent kind of changes up and you're ready to adapt for every single round, because every round's different.
Yeah, looked tough going in there, but I know, like I say, it's sparring can sometimes be a little bit soul destroying. It can be a little bit disheartening when sort of because most fighters are really critical of their own performance when they're sort of training, but it looked competitive, and like I say, it's going to need to be hard for preparations for the 19th.
Yeah, definitely, and the good thing is as well, is like I'm saying, is like you're getting in fresh boys all the time. But in terms of being critical on yourself, I don't think that's the best way to be. I think you've always got to look on the positives and look on what you did well. And then to be fair, the boys that were in, they were good boys today, and I think it was a good tough spar, but yeah, it goes the way it goes, man.
No, good. Well, looking on the positives, last time out, Epsom Downs Racecourse, you made your debut in the Quest Boxing League. A great performance against a sort of a taller, rangier fighter in Cyprian Stryzek. So yeah. Before we look ahead to the big fight against Seb Hallett, cast your mind back to September the 10th and talk us through your performance.
Yeah, I think it was a good, strong performance from me. I've controlled the pace, which I wanted to do, and I showed my ability as well, and showed that obviously I can box just as much as come forward. And then obviously I think Cyprian was very good, because I think I got a little bit more experience than him, but I think he performed very well for himself and he made it a good fight. And it was good to get on a good stage, because sometimes some of the shows that you perform at, they're not as well presented. And there's nothing like coming down the elevator, walking out, and seeing the ring. It was good. It was a really good experience, and one to remember. Yeah.
Apart from the fight, I mean, sort of the nerves, sort of the coming out in front of the bright lights, and how was that experience? I mean, was it sort of different to sort of previous experiences?
Yeah, definitely different, because it's more glamorous. I would say definitely more glamorous, but I think that kind of made it for me, because it kind of adds to the excitement. It kind of puts you, it's kind of like being put in a spotlight, so you just enjoy it a lot more. And I tend to like putting on a show, and that was a good stage to put a show on.
Yeah, well, like I say, it was a great performance, and it sets up the showdown with Seb Hallett for the vacant belt. But looking at that fight against Cyprian Stryzek, it was almost kind of, in terms of physicalities, almost a carbon copy of what you're going to be facing against Hallett, who he's taller, he's rangier, likes to box off the back foot. And for yourself, from what we saw in those sort of passages of action against Stryzek and your previous fights, you're obviously you're at a height disadvantage, but you're aggressive, you come forward, you throw those shots. I mean, talk us through how you negate what Seb Hallett brings to this fight.
Well, the thing is with Seb, like you said, he likes to box on the back foot a little bit. He's got lovely footwork, and I'm not trying to give away too much, obviously, but we've got our plan about how to deal with it. And I think, to be honest, with me, you say the height's a disadvantage, but for me, I find it more of an advantage especially against taller, rangier people, because once I engage my distance, it's difficult. It's difficult to keep me off. And then I feel like that's where things get mentally tough for my opponents. So for me, I kind of use what you say as a disadvantage to my advantage, and I think I'm hard to hit when I'm inside the pocket, especially hard to hit cleanly. So we'll see. I think it's a definitely good clash of styles, and whoever gets their styles going is going to win on the night.
With Hallett, obviously, in some of his previous performances, we've seen vulnerabilities. In his contest against Dexter Horton, he got sort of caught early, which sort of kind of changed the outcome of the fight. But for you, what have you seen of Hallett? I mean, in terms of his style and how he boxes?
Like I said, we was on the same show last time, so I got to see a little bit of him. And when he gets his range and he gets his distance going, he's a very good boxer, very good on his feet. And the thing is, you can't afford to chase him because you'll just be chasing shadows, and you can't afford him to stay at his distance. So it's gonna be whoever sets their distance and sets their tempo, and I believe I can definitely do that.
I mean, for you, do you think it's a question of sort of, you know, getting inside those long levers, staying on his chest, you know, unloading those sort of short, sharp body shots, and sort of, and making it really, really hard work for him not to be able to sort of, to use those sort of physicalities?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said previously, I think it's going to be whoever sets their distance and sets their tempo. So for me, it's going to be, if I stay at the distance for his punching, he's going to be having a field day all day. But if I get inside, he's going to be having a tough fight, because if I stay inside, it's going to be a long 2 rounds.
For you, what would you say, you know, without, you know, giving game plan away, you know, what are your sort of your best attributes? What do you think for you wins you this fight?
I think basically just obviously my fitness. My fitness is definitely up there with some of the best. I really rarely find boys that are fitter than me and able to cope. I think that my pressure is going to be a very, very big part of this thing, and then it matters who can sustain it mentally. So say like who can get their head right mentally, and I think boxing is 80% more mental than what is physical. So obviously it's all good having your physical attributes, but it's how good you are mentally and how good you cope with the pressure. And I deliver the pressure.
Well, I mean, you come from a great stable here, obviously. You know, chatting to your coach Thomas, you know, he's told me about how things are sort of going. But you know, for you mentioned off camera, you know, sort of fight camps, they can sort of they can be different, they can be tough. But you know, in terms of as a fight camp and preparation goes, how have you found this one?
Yeah, good. So what we said, every camp's different. Every camp's different, and every camp's got its difficulties, but also every camp's got its pluses and what you learn from it, because with every camp you should be picking up something new, progressing in some way. And that's one good thing about how active I've stayed in the last year, is every camp there's been something new, been something added, and not lost anything. So it's always just good to keep progressing and keep adding to the camp. So everything comes from hard work, doesn't it? And that's one thing that we definitely do, is we work hard.
And that's it. Like they say, you know, you can't play boxing, so if you're not 100% prepared, you know, you've not done all of the different sort of things you need to do to be fight ready on the fight night.
Yeah.
You know, that's when people come unstuck. But it's a fascinating fighting prospect. I mean, for you, obviously it's only your second fight in the competition, but for you to walk away with that belt on November the 19th, I mean, try and kind of put into words, you know, really how that would make you feel, and how that ranks in your sort of your achievements in boxing.
For me, that would be number one. That would be right up there for the thing. Because like I'm saying, every camp has been leading up to fighting on Quest and showboating our skills at the best level. And so for me to finally achieve that, it'll be great, and then plough on and move on from there, because it starts with a regional, and we just keep going and keep fighting. And then that for me, yeah, that'll be up there with number one, man. To hold that title up in front of your friends and your family, everyone coming down. It's good, it's good. I've won titles on other shows before, not on this type of stage.
Well, I know it's going to be a fantastic fight. We've obviously seen both yourself and Seb Hallett both on the same card last time out on the high stakes promotion, and I'm sure this one is going to be even better. So I know you've still got a little bit more training to do. I can see the sweat coming off there from the sparring. So we've kind of grabbed you in between sort of sessions. So it's a pleasure chatting to you. And like I say, we look forward to seeing you in action. It's all taking place at the K2 Arena in Crawley in West Sussex on November the 19th. Nicky Slatcher, he challenges Seb Hallett for the Quest vacant lightweight regional title.